Ever been around someone who just doesn't feel real? Maybe they say one thing, but their actions tell a different story. You're not alone. Sometimes, the people closest to us are the hardest to read. But that doesn't mean you have to stay in the dark. In this video, we'll reveal 7 red flags that show when someone is being fake with you. And trust me, once you spot them, you'll never miss the signs again. Let's dive in and uncover the truth. 1. They always agree with you, even when it's obvious they don't. One of the most telling signs that someone is being fake with you is when they always agree with whatever you say, regardless of the topic. It seems harmless at first, maybe even flattering, but upon closer inspection, you'll notice that they never express their own opinion. Fake people are afraid of conflict or upsetting you, so they take the easy route by pretending to agree with everything you say. This constant agreement can make you feel validated in the moment, but the reality is that it's a red flag. When someone is always nodding along without ever offering a differing perspective, it means they're not being authentic with you. Genuine relationships, whether personal or professional, thrive on the ability to communicate openly and honestly, even if it means disagreeing at times. Healthy relationships encourage respectful debate and discussions where both sides feel heard and understood. But with fake individuals, there's a lack of authenticity that can be suffocating. They're more concerned with maintaining an illusion of harmony rather than expressing their true thoughts. They might fear that disagreeing with you could create tension or cause you to pull away. They may even act like they share your passions, beliefs, or opinions when, in reality, they don't feel the same way at all. This kind of behavior doesn't just hold you back. It also stifles the potential for real, meaningful connections. When someone is constantly agreeing with you, you're left with a relationship based on surface-level pleasantries and false assumptions. You're never challenged to think differently, and you're never truly known for who you are. Over time, you may begin to realize that this person doesn't really have a voice of their own. Their agreement feels more like a performance than a genuine response. You might start questioning whether they're even paying attention to you, or if they're simply going through the motions to avoid confrontation. As a result, you're left wondering if they're really your friend, or if they're just pretending to be one to stay in your good graces. Real relationships are built on trust, openness, and the willingness to be vulnerable. When someone always agrees with you, they're not opening themselves up to you. They're hiding behind a facade, only showing you what they think you want to hear. And when that happens, there's no room for real connection or growth. 2. They only reach out when they need something. Another glaring sign that someone is being fake with you is when they only seem to appear when they want or need something from you. Whether it's help with a project, emotional support during tough times, or even just your time or attention, these individuals tend to vanish when everything is going well in your life. They have a one-sided relationship where your value is only recognized when it benefits them. It's easy to fall into the trap of thinking that everyone has their ups and downs, but when someone consistently shows up only during their moments of need, it's a clear sign that they don't truly care about you. Genuine relationships are built on reciprocity. There's a give and take. Both people are there for each other in both the good times and the bad, offering support, encouragement, and friendship regardless of the situation. Fake individuals, however, have a much more transactional approach to relationships. They're not genuinely invested in your well-being or your success. Instead, they see you as a resource, someone who can give them something they need, whether that's advice, a favor, or your emotional energy. And once they've gotten what they want, they're nowhere to be found. This kind of behavior can be exhausting and emotionally draining because you're always the one putting in effort, only to feel like you're being used. The moment they have no further use for you, they'll retreat into the shadows until their next need arises. This pattern is unsustainable in any genuine relationship, and it can leave you feeling undervalued and manipulated. If you notice this pattern happening in your relationships, it's important to take a step back and evaluate whether this person is truly invested in you or if they're simply keeping you around to serve their own interests. True friends or companions are present for the long haul, even when there's nothing to gain. They don't disappear when life gets easy for them, and they don't only pop up when there's something to take. If someone only reaches out when they want something, they're not offering you a real connection. They're simply taking advantage of the situation. 3. They constantly seek validation from you. One of the clearest signs that someone is being fake with you is when they constantly seek validation, reassurance, or approval from you, even for the smallest of things. You might notice that this person always seems to be fishing for compliments, constantly asking for your opinion on their actions or choices, or seeking your approval for things that don't necessarily require it. While it's natural to seek validation from others at times, when someone is excessively dependent on your feedback, it can indicate a lack of authenticity. This behavior often reveals insecurity and a need for external validation to feel good about themselves, rather than having internal confidence and self-assurance. The issue here is that they aren't truly seeking a connection based on mutual respect and understanding. Instead, they're using you as a mirror to reflect their own sense of worth. They need you to validate their choices, actions, and appearance, because deep down, they don't trust their own decisions. It's almost as if they are incapable of feeling good about themselves without receiving external approval. This kind of behavior can become draining over time, especially if it's constant. You start to feel like you're stuck in a loop of endlessly providing validation, but never really getting anything meaningful in return. They may not truly care about your opinion on a deeper level, but rather just want to hear what they want to hear. Their responses might sound overly flattering, or they may always say what they think you want to hear to keep you on their side. This is where the fakeness starts to creep in. Genuine relationships are built on mutual respect, where both individuals feel valued for who they are, not just for what they can provide to the other. If you find that someone is always seeking validation and never truly trusting their own sense of self-worth, it's a sign that they might not be as real with you as they seem. 4. They only tell you what you want to hear. Another major red flag that someone is being fake with you is when they consistently tell you exactly what you want to hear, rather than offering honest or constructive feedback. While this might seem like a nice gesture at first, in reality, it's a sign of manipulation and lack of genuine care. People who are being fake with you will often avoid difficult truths and will only provide you with comforting words, even if it means deceiving you or not helping you grow. You might find that when you share your struggles or discuss your ideas, they always seem to agree with you, no matter what. They never challenge you, never point out any potential flaws, and always tell you that you're right, or that everything will work out. While it might feel good in the moment, you have to ask yourself, are they telling you the truth? Or are they simply telling you what you want to hear to keep you happy? Or perhaps keep the relationship comfortable for them? This type of behavior can be dangerous in the long run because it creates an environment where real growth is stunted. You'll never get the chance to improve or learn from your mistakes because you're being fed a false sense of reassurance. When someone is only telling you what you want to hear, they are choosing to avoid the discomfort of truth in favor of keeping the peace. But true friends, mentors, and companions are the ones who will be honest with you, even when the truth is hard to hear. They understand that sometimes growth requires discomfort. Additionally, this fake positivity can lead to you becoming disconnected from reality. You might start to believe that everything is perfect and that you're always right, when in fact, you might be missing valuable opportunities for improvement. This can lead to poor decision-making and even personal stagnation. as you're not getting the kind of feedback that would help you evolve as a person. If you notice that someone in your life is only telling you what you want to hear, take a moment to assess whether they truly have your best interests at heart. Are they encouraging your growth and helping you navigate the challenges of life? Or are they simply protecting their own comfort at the cost of your development? The people who are truly invested in you will challenge you, guide you with honesty, and tell you what you need to hear, even if it's not always what you want to hear. 5. They avoid taking responsibility. Another significant sign that someone may be fake with you is when they consistently avoid taking responsibility for their actions. A person who is genuinely trustworthy and authentic will own up to their mistakes, learn from them, and seek to make things right. However, someone who is pretending to be your friend or pretending to care about you will deflect blame, deny their role in a situation, or even manipulate the narrative to avoid accountability. If you're dealing with someone who never admits when they're wrong or who constantly shifts the blame onto others, this is a clear indication of their fakeness. They will often make excuses for their behavior or avoid the situation altogether to prevent having to own up to their actions. This behavior isn't just annoying or frustrating, it's damaging. When someone refuses to take responsibility, it undermines trust and creates an unstable relationship dynamic. Think about it. How many times have you caught them in a lie or seen them act in a way that wasn't in line with their supposed values, only for them to act as if nothing happened? Their inability to take responsibility not only shows a lack of integrity, but also shows that they are more concerned with protecting their image and ego than maintaining a meaningful and honest relationship with you. In any healthy relationship, whether personal, professional, or platonic, accountability is a key factor. People who take responsibility are not afraid to face uncomfortable situations. They don't hide behind excuses or point fingers at others. Instead, they learn from their mistakes, improve themselves, and make sure the same mistakes aren't repeated. On the other hand, those who are fake will continue to sidestep responsibility because doing so would force them to confront their flaws or weaknesses. They might even gaslight you into thinking you're the one who's wrong, making you doubt your own perception of the situation. Be cautious of people who never own up to their mistakes, because they're more focused on self-preservation than building a genuine, trusting connection. 6. They only show interest when it benefits them. A key indicator of a fake person in your life is when their interest in you is only present when it directly benefits them. These individuals have a transactional approach to relationships, where they only show care, affection, or attention when they can gain something in return. They are typically present during moments of your success or when you can offer them something of value, but disappear or lose interest when you need support or help in return. When someone only shows interest when it benefits them, they are not truly invested in your well-being. They're using you as a stepping stone for their own gains, whether it's to advance in their career, increase their social status, or leverage your resources for their own convenience. These types of relationships feel shallow because they lack the depth and mutual respect that should define any meaningful connection. You might notice that when you're going through tough times, they're nowhere to be found. When you need a friend, someone to confide in, or someone to offer support, they may seem disinterested or completely absent. But the moment something good happens to you, or you can help them out in some way, they'll suddenly be back in the picture, acting as if nothing ever happened. This is a form of selfishness disguised as friendship, and it's one of the clearest signs that the person is being fake with you. Genuine relationships are built on reciprocity. Both individuals offer support, care, and understanding to one another. When someone's behavior revolves around taking rather than giving, It's a clear indication that they're not interested in building a true connection, but rather using you for their own benefit. In these situations, it's crucial to evaluate your relationship with them. Are you being treated as an equal, with your needs being considered just as much as theirs? Or are you simply being used as a tool to advance their own agenda? Pay attention to the patterns, and don't be afraid to distance yourself from people who only show interest when there's something to gain. Real friends will be there for you in both good times and bad, without any hidden motives. 7. They frequently flatter you, but it feels inauthentic. Flattery is often seen as a sign of admiration, but when someone is being fake, their compliments can feel more like manipulation than genuine praise. Fake people tend to flatter excessively, often in an exaggerated or overly enthusiastic manner, with the intention of gaining your approval or favor. While compliments can feel nice, it's important to recognize when they are being used to manipulate your emotions or influence your behavior. One of the most common ways fake people flatter you is by giving insincere compliments to boost their own agenda. They may compliment your appearance, intelligence, or skills, but their praise feels shallow, scripted, or over the top. It might be used to make you feel good temporarily, but there's no real depth to it. The goal isn't to genuinely appreciate you, it's to get something from you in return, whether it's attention, favors, or alignment with their personal goals. The key here is that these compliments tend to come at a time when they need something from you, or when they are trying to win you over. If you notice that the flattery always seems to occur when they want something from you, like your approval, your time, or your resources, then it's likely inauthentic. In genuine relationships, compliments arise naturally and are rooted in respect and admiration. But when flattery is used manipulatively, it creates a sense of discomfort. You may even start to feel like you're being played, as if you can't trust the person's words because you know they have ulterior motives. You should always pay attention to the frequency and timing of the flattery. If it feels like it's coming from a place of need or self-interest, it's a sign that the person may not be as genuine as they appear. Genuine admiration is grounded in truth, while fake flattery is driven by manipulation and hidden motives. Trust your instincts in these situations. If the compliments feel too good to be true, or you feel uncomfortable with how often they occur, you may be dealing with someone who is more interested in using you than valuing you for who you truly are. As you continue to navigate the world, remember that authenticity is your strongest shield. Stay alert, trust your instincts, and protect your peace. Keep an eye out for the red flags, and you'll always know how to guard yourself from the fakes.